Okay, so that was the book of Jubilees, chapter 3. There's a lot to digest there. It's a lot more detailed, as you've already gathered, regarding the law of the separation of the woman after she gives birth to either a male or a female. There's different laws here. It says for the male, she's to separate herself for how many days is that? 7 days, and then accomplishes a number of days. How many? 33 days. So it looks like 40 days in total. So that's interesting. But when you look at the separation of days when it comes to giving birth to a daughter, it's 80 days. It's double. So that's interesting. I don't remember that from the Torah. I might have just forgotten it. But that is an interesting instruction there. And I do believe Mary, the mother of Jesus, kept this commandment. She separated herself as well for a prescribed period of time before she could go and offer her sacrifice in the temple, which she did do according to Torah. So they were Torah observant Jews, Yeshua's parents, and so was he. According to the spirit of the Torah, I have to emphasize. Okay, what else do we notice here? As well as kind of reinforces, reiterates what the Septuagint says in regards to what Adam said when Eve was made. He called her his wife. He didn't just say she'll just be called a woman. I believe that's in verse 7. She shall be called my wife. So that is a little more sentimental. If you're oh, that's so cute. No, that's what he called her. It's my wife because she was taken from her husband. Therefore, man and wife shall be one, or husband and wife shall be one. So that is, it is more emotional, but that's just the truth. It shows you the gravity, the weight of what it means to be married, to be one flesh. It's not something to be taken lightly. It really is for life, truly. Then we look at the serpent entering the picture here. I'm just going to comment on what's written here in the Jubilees. Not going into conspiracy territory or just my own opinions, but there's a mention here as well that I find it noteworthy, where it talks about the animals being able to speak. All of them, all the creatures were able to speak in one language. So let me just look up another text. Okay, so I looked up the book of Jasher. It doesn't mention anything about the language. It's only in the book of Jubilees where it talks about how the animals were able to speak. Recall the donkey, Numbers 22 or 23, where God opened his mouth, which kind of implies God closed the mouths at one point. And so this is the proof. I guess you could say Jubilees is the source of where that happened, where the mouths were closed of all the animals. It talks about how Adam had offered a sweet savor, an offering, frankincense, galbanum, stacta, and spices from the day when he covered his shame. Was this to make atonement? I don't know. But clearly, at least in the book of Jubilees, according to that narrative, they are aware of the offering system. And I want to point out, lastly, that it does mention the Sabbath of years. So that was explicit as well, that they understood there was an awareness of the Shemitah year. Where is that? I think it's in the beginning of the chapter, or probably in chapter 2, but it did mention Sabbath of years. So that's one thing I forgot to mention. And it's going to close it there. And until next time, we'll look at chapter 4. Again, this is getting really getting into the thick of it, because can't wait to get through this book. But again, I was debating whether to do a video, show my face on screen, because it does get quite emotional, but I think you'll just hear it in my voice. but I'll leave that up to, depending on the chapter. If it's really heavy, maybe I might show my face, but because I understand this can be a little bit boring just to see a screen with just a bunch of text. Maybe it's preferable to show my face. So yeah, I might rethink that and just show my face for the commentary aspect, and maybe even the reading aspect, but we'll see. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Once again, Shalom and Maranatha.